Hi, my name is Dawn Parker, and I'm giving my persuasive essay on the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms versus stricter gun controls in America. Gun violence is taking over our American way of life. Gun violence has affected us in our homes, in our communities, in our workplace, in our schools, churches, gathering places. It's time for us to act. Time to act now. Gun violence is a man made problem that requires a man made solution. I remember back when the country was uh, focusing on unnecessary deaths due to drunk drivers and reckless driving. Many Americans were being maimed, mutilated, handicapped, and many lost their lives because of the irresponsibilities of others. By reckless and careless drivers, we needed to do something about that. So we enacted laws against drunk driving that included jail time, loss of property, and hefty fines. They sometimes they even lost their driving privileges, which that's minor. But we saw a trend of young drivers that were being killed or involved in accidents. So because of inexperience, carelessness, or even recklessness. So we made it more difficult for these young drivers to obtain licenses, and we limited their driving. Um, the privileges included they could drive at certain times of the day, like from 5 to 9, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., and it was successful. If they were successful for 6 months, they could get a provisional license. The provisional license would give them the right to drive any time of the day, but they must be accompanied by someone that was 25 years of age and that had actual 5 years of driving experience. After a probationary period, they could obtain a regular license. Teen accidents went down. Teen deaths by car accidents went down. Uh, they went down by 60% as of 1995 in driving deaths involving teens. It was a man made problem, so we found a man made solution, and it worked. We should do the same about gun violence. The Second Amendment of the Constitution says that we have the right to bear arms. Does it say that? Does it really say that? Well, what is the Constitution? American, the Constitution was it establishes the American national government and the fundamental laws that guarantees certain basic rights to American citizens. The preamble of the Constitution states, "We the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish a constitution." We established the Constitution so that the citizens will be protected. The Second Amendment falls in the Constitution, and what does the Second Amendment state? The Second Amendment states that a well-regulated military, no, a well-regulated militia being necessary for a free state to a well-regulated militia being necessary to secure a free state has the right for the people to keep and bear arms, and it shall not be infringed on. So this means that a militia has the right to use firearms to protect themselves and their property for the purpose of security. A militia is a force, a military force that is raised from a civilian population, supplementing a regular army in an event of an emergency. Nowhere in the Second Amendment does the word stating the individual citizen has the right to bear arms unless it is necessary for the security of a free state. Do you believe that changes are needed? Why do I believe they're needed? Because gun violence and violence acts of massacres, children being killed by their parents' guns, school shooting, homegrown international terrorist attacks, our world is changing. Beliefs, traditional ways that things have been done have become antiquated and outdated. As is stated by Dr. Metzel and Dr. McLeish in Mental Illness, Mass Shootings, and the Politics of the American Firearm, there have been 142 school shootings and 45 mass school shootings in the United States since 2015. The four assumptions that arise in the aftermath of a mass shooting is that mental illness causes the gun violence, that psychiatric diagnosis could have predicted the crime, that shooting represents the deranged act of a mental ill loner, and would gun control have prevented Newtontown, the elementary school in Connecticut, Sandy Hook Elementary School. This is the guy, Adam Lanza, that actually did that shooting. Each of these statements is certainly true in its own sense. Yet we show notions that mental illness that emerges in relation to mass shootings frequently larger cultural stereotypes and anxieties about such matters as race, ethnicity, social class, and politics. These issues become a gray area when it's a mass shooting, because most of the time mental illness ceases to be the medical designation and becomes a sign of a violent threat.